plus tier. Yeah, so Mashu is S plus tier. She is the one true waifu, the one that will likely be with us when everything is said and done. Why I put those around the wrong thing, I don't know. There we go. But yes, Mashu is indeed the one true waifu. She's likely going to be the main love interest at the end of all things when all the servants go bye-bye. Why am I getting ads? Go away, I have ad block. Alright, so Mashu. Pretty self-explanatory why I put her there. I've gushed about her plenty over the course of FGO's lifespan that I've been streaming it. So yeah, Mashu, S plus here, the one true waifu. Next is Baseline Seba. So, Baseline Saber doesn't really get a lot of character development, to be completely honest. Outside of, I want to say, Summer 1, which has her alternate form shown, I don't think Baseline Saber really is in the story. Like, at all. I mean, so because of that, she is going to be going in the C tier, just because she definitely needs more development in order to be considered in any of the higher tiers as far as the FGO continuity goes. Outside of FGO, obviously, I would not, because I don't get in between that kind of stuff. But Baseline Saber is in the needs more development, just because she hasn't really had enough development in the game to justify me putting her any higher. I mean, the summer event had some, but it wasn't really enough. Salter, meanwhile, is a different case. First introduced way back in Fuyuki, she sort of had these sort of off-and-on presence throughout the whole of the game, you know, being our first Santa Claus, Shinjuku being in Summer 2. Salter has had a fair bit of character development beyond just, you know, Saber's altered, more serious form. So, I honestly like Salter a fair bit. So she's definitely gotten plenty of development for it. But I would not say that she can go any higher than a high B tier. So the reason for this is because while she has excellent character development, plenty physical attractiveness, and she's in the right maturity range for me, I just don't really have anything wrong with Salter. It's just more along the lines of I couldn't see myself with her as a proper waifu in the long term of things. That is essentially what it comes down to. Saber Lily, she is the innocent version of Saber. First introduced, well, I mean, you get her as a free copy if you start the game. You can friend spin her now. But beyond that, I think the only real time Saber Lily has gotten any relevance was in the first Saber Wars. Maybe in Saber Wars 2, she might have been mentioned, but just very much an immature version of Saber that is less mentally developed, less developed as a character than base Saber as well, in that very same vein. So yeah, I think that Saber Lily is going to be the first one in the not happening tier of things, just because does not have enough character development. I don't feel like she's going to get much more character development, and realistically speaking, she's just a more naive version of Seba. Plus, you know, there's plenty of Seba faces out there, so I think it's fine if I put one down here. But I would say that if she had more development, she might be able to raise out of the D ranking. Really, the D ranking shouldn't be called not happening, but it's what I labeled it. So did I start the recording back up? Okay, I did. I blanked if I did or not. Sorry. But yeah, so Saber Lily is in the not happening just because I don't really foresee any kind of development really pushing her into the sort of love interest role. Nero. Nero. She steals the spotlight oh so very much. Like, it is kind of ridiculous how egotistical Nero can be. That said, Nero definitely has had plenty of character development over the course of FGO. Been featured quite a lot, even if the first appearance really wasn't the best, considering it was more of a fan wank of her than anything. So, I think that Nero... I will say Salter would probably be more in the date and Smash. I'm gonna just say Nero would be in just Smash. I'm not sure. Should I split that into two? Yeah, I think I will. Split that into two categories here. Oop. Wrong button. So let me do this here. This one can be... Let's see. I see how they did it initially. So let me actually then change this, because purple best color. Let's see. So red, orange, yellow. So we'll put a row above. This row above will be the yellow. This one will be light green, and then this one will be the darker green. Hey, Draconic. Welcome to the stream. Hobby things. Kia better not be rated lowly. This is for my own personal taste. That is all I will say. This is not a generalization. This is more of a, where would I put that? Oh, why did I did not click that ad? Why is my ad blocker not working? Grr. So we'll label this one as B date and Smash, and the B minus is just the Smash tier. Just Smash. Yeah, because that, honestly, Nero has gotten plenty of development, but has a very, very opposing personality to what I care for. So yeah, that is why Nero will go here. But, welcome to the stream, Draconic. Sorry, I accidentally sort of stopped stream for a brief moment there when you greeted, but, you're getting Jalter figure on the 29th and opening presents on New Year when your brother visits. Nice. Well, I hope you get a good amount of presents. My Christmas was pretty good as well. I've got the box set for the Babylonia, or not for Babylonia, but for Solomon. So I'm very happy to have gotten that, and just got a few other things. I didn't really have a lot that I was looking for, so it's not too surprising. But yeah, I enjoyed Christmas, and I'm going to enjoy making this ranking. I still need to try and find a family tree maker for when I want to, put every servant of FGO ever into a sort of family tree. But that's going to come later, I think, because that's going to take a lot of work. Yeah, that's going to take a lot of work. But anyways, back to this ranking here. So, Nero was the one we just rated. Next is Altera. Otherwise known as Attila the Hun. Again, another character that we really don't see that much of in the story. I think the first appearance was in the Roman Singularity, where she appeared very briefly at the end as a boss to fight against after she killed Lev. And then she had the Christmas event, the Christmas in the Underworld, where she was Santa. And since then, she has had the occasional appearance, just sort of dropping the Santa-y wisdom there. But, I mean, we've just gotten so little proper development of Altera as a character. I think it's definitely a case of she's more of an extra verse servant than she is a Grand Order verse servant. So I think I will put Altera in the needs development category just because, or the needs development ranking, just because she looks nice, she has a nice personality, it's just not been developed for the Fate Grand Order game. Anyways, so next is Atalante. So Atalante, another one that is definitely better not let Miyazaki hear you say that. I will try not to. I would love it if these ads stopped popping up. I have ad block on, dang nabbit. But Atalante is, she's gotten a little bit more in character appearances. I want to say she was in one of the early singularities, probably the Roman singularity. Easy block. Yeah, I mean, it took me a while just to find the ad block I'm currently using, so I might have to look into a new one. I've never really had this kind of issue with ads since I installed it, though, so I don't know. But Atalante, definitely, I want to say another servant that had some significance in an earlier singularity, but as time has gone, she's sort of, ever since the first Lost Belt, been replaced by just Atalante Alter, likely due to the better art style as far as her drawing goes, or at least the more, I wouldn't say better, the different art style. The art style that is more in line with the other servants, I think would be the better way of putting it. But Atalante is another case of a servant that really feels just like they were ported in from another game, or from another piece of Fate media. She really hasn't had that much as far as, good to know, Draconic, good to know. Don't spoil anything beyond that, though. I already told Andy off for trying to spoil one servant in it Lost Belt 7, so... But, yeah, so Atalante, I think I will put her in the needs development category as well, just because I feel like she's a popular enough servant that she could potentially get more development there. But as it currently stands, it's not, really enough. Uriel. I think she is also going to go. Like, this one I don't really need to even think about much in the not happening category. And the reason for that is because of her personality. Uriel and Stheno really have gotten a fair bit of development over the course of the game, both in each other's interludes, as well as a fair bit of the Medusa lines interludes, There's sort of all some interaction between them all. And Uriel and Stheno, their personality is just very much not intuitive to what I like. I mean, like, when Uriel's body was occupied, or when we saw Juliet as Uriel in the Moon Inn event thing, that weird one, that would be a great personality for a character to have. Uriel and Stheno are just, they're two sides of the same coin. They're massive teases. They bully their sister quite a lot. And quite frankly, just the personality, and I mean, their appearance is nice. I will say that their appearance is nice. And maybe I should just put them in the needs more development category, but really it'd be a lot more development that is really needed in order for me to justify moving her and eventually her sister up to needs more development. So, I think the not happening tier is fine for Uriel. Liz, meanwhile, I think of all servants, Liz is one that has gotten, like, the most character development in all, like, in FGO. She is prevalent in so many events, in a fair few bits of the story as well. Really, Liz has, and her alternate forms, which are, I'm just going to count all of Liz's alternate forms, except for the Mecha Elechons, as Liz. All of them combined, just sort of, Liz has gotten quite a lot. She's wormed her way into a lot of people's hearts. I'm not the biggest lesbian, I guess, but, you know what? I think Liz is a solid B+ tier waifu. Medusa, meanwhile, again, she sort of suffers the same fate as baseline Saber, where she's definitely another media servant that has been ported over to the game. She has gotten a fair bit more development than Saber, though, just because I think Nasu went on record saying that the Fate Stay Night and all that stuff was Saber's story, so Now we're not focusing on Saber, just all the Saber faces. So Medusa's gotten a fair bit of development. Good body, like the personality. She's in a fair bit of events too. Sometimes as a joke character, which is nice. It gives a little bit more of her lighter side to show off, which is definitely something that is unique to FGO, is that she is shown a lot more relaxed. I don't think I can justify putting her in the A tier, though. I will say, though, she probably does deserve to be in the B+ tier. Yeah, definitely in the B+ tier. Boudica. Boudica is one that really... she's one that I really have slept on. I don't really remember... I mean, she's part of the kitchen gang, that's obvious. She's definitely a more mom-esque character, but I haven't leveled her up enough to really get any of her interludes or anything done, so I can't say I know the most about Boudica. She's got some personality and stuff. I think it's only fair, just because needs more development. Maybe, maybe not, but she needs more development for me just because I haven't seen enough of her character. Ushi Wakamaru, meanwhile, is one that you've definitely seen plenty of character about. She's prevalent quite a bit, a fairly popular servant. You know, Ushi, she grows on you, especially through the Babylonia anime. Or, not anime, but the Babylonia Singularity. But I'm trying to think if outside of that and some summer shenanigans, she's had any big roles to play. And I'm kind of drawing a bit of a blank here. But overall, Ushi does have a nice body, good personality. The thing that makes me not able to rank her higher than what I'm going to rank her is the fact that her personality, I just don't feel like it's one that I could really mesh with in the long term. So Ushi is going to be going in the B- category. Next is Marie. So Marie is another servant that had some early Singularity prevalence, early Summer Servant, and then has kind of just sort of somewhat fallen off. I mean, she does have the occasional roles in the events to play, you know. But really, she's another servant that I don't really... When I think of the waifus of FGO, I don't really think of Marie, mainly because she's more, I guess, innocent would be the best word to put her as. Yeah, I think innocent's a very good word for Marie. She's very much more innocent. Plus, honestly, there's definitely something going on between Marie, Mozart, and Sanson, and I don't really want to get in between all that. So I think Marie will sit in the not happening tier. But I'll put her above Lily and Uriel, though. I'll do that much. Martha. Oh, Martha. Martha's another character. We've had plenty of development with her. Plenty of development with her. She's got good personality, good body. She's a God-fearing Christian woman who will pummel you to a absolute pulp. Yeah. She's very violent, but, I mean, that's not going to really matter for upcoming servants. It's just more... What's the best way to put it? I think she doesn't really need more development. I will say that much. Development is not really much more that Martha needs, because her personality has sort of been established here, and it's more just playing around that bit of personality that we already have for her. Just based on the criteria I have here, and I do think this is, I mean, it might develop a bit more, but as it currently stands, I think this is a good ranking system. I think just because of the personality that Martha has, she doesn't really need more development, so her personality is set in stone. I think I'm going to put Martha in the not happening tier. Martha, not a waifu of me, I think is something I will probably get some flack for saying, but I'm going to say it. Medea, another servant who got another version of herself, but this time very early on, that kind of has stolen all of her thunder. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Medea Lily. I mean, not literally, but you know what I mean. So because of that, she's got underneath her robes, she's looking quite nice there, I will admit. Quite nice, but just not enough character development. Would really like to see more of baseline Medea, which I'm sure a lot of the fan base agrees with, but I think in the C tier is the place to go. Steno, I already kind of talked about her when I talked about Uriel. In fact, Steno is a little bit worse than Uriel. Steno seems a little bit crueler than Uriel, so I feel no qualms about putting her in the not happening category. Zhang Qi is the next contestant here. She's a case of a servant who's gotten smatterings of personality developed through, the course of the game. I feel like she might have been in early Singularity, but I don't really remember. But really, we just have not seen enough of Zhang Qi to really be firmly established in any way other than the fact that she is near constantly drunk, and she failed to kill Mothman. So because we don't really know much about her, C tier needs more development. Matahari, meanwhile, is a case of a low-tier servant that, fairly popular. She's been in a fair bit of events and such. I don't really use her all that much, but she is very well known for, what she's well known for. She's got a good body, good personality too, but I don't really see me taking it any further than just smashing. Let me get a quick drink here. So, next up is Carmilla. Carmilla. She would be another case if it weren't for the summer at the resort, which would give her Phantom Thief motif, or whatever you want to call it. So she did get development in there. But is it enough development really to rank her too high? It kind of did establish another side to her personality, I guess. But is that other side... The other side is kind of just the slightly lighter side. She's still very, very sadistic. So, because of that, I think I'm going to put her in the Just Smash category. The personality is definitely a massive turn off for me as far as Carmilla goes. Next up is Kiyohime. So, Kiyo is definitely one that has gotten plenty of character development. She is one of the Stalker trio, after all. Been in a lot of events, seen a lot of Kiyohime, so we know her personality is pretty much firmly established. We also firmly know her body proportions because of swimsuit and that kind of stuff. Excuse me. However, because of all this, and again, this could get me flamed, probably by her and probably by you, Draconic, but honestly, Kiyo just does not mesh well, with how I'd envision. Not being able to lie is not a big deal. Like, a lot of people do require honesty, and I get that, Honesty is a very important part of a relationship, but just, thinking about it, you'd never be able to try and surprise her or anything. Plus, the whole ready to kill you at a moment's notice. Yeah, most of the yanderes will likely be making their way into the D tier. Yeah. Sorry about that, Draconic. I know she's one of your waifus, but to me, after a lot of thoughts, I don't think I can really justify putting her higher than D tier. Tamamo Cat is another one of the Chaldean cooking squad. Beyond that, she's a fox who dresses like a dog and thinks she's a cat. So yeah, that's something for a personality. That is certainly something for a personality there. But where would I rank Tamamo Cat? It's a tough one. I mean, she is kind of just Tamamo, but more bestial here. I mean, actually, not even kind of just Tamamo. They're completely different people. What am I saying? So where do I put Tamamo Cat? I think she's gotten plenty... has she gotten plenty of development? Not, thinking about it, I don't, now that I'm really thinking about it, I don't think she has. Like, outside of the occasional event showcase, not really. So I think I will be fair and put Tama Cat in the needs more development stage. Jeanne d'Arc. So, Jeanne is another character we've gotten imported from another genre, but has had plenty of development just because, you know, she's a very popular character, so it's not too surprising she's gotten her own alternate forms. However, she is overshadowed by her quote-unquote younger sister. Combine that with the, frankly, strange, borderline creepy big sister complex she has, and also the fact that Sieg can be in Chaldea, and I do low-key ship it. I'm going to put Jeanne d'Arc in the not happening category. Yeah. Artemis. I think that's kind of obvious to say here. She's in a very established relationship. She loves her established relationship so much that she hijacked his soul and turned him into a teddy bear. Yeah. She's in a relationship, so very, very bottom of not happening category. Plain and simple. No questions about that. I'm going to skip over Caster Liz since I've already ranked normal Liz, and all of the holiday variants, or all the Halloween variants outside of the Mecha Ellie-chans are pretty much just Liz. Baseline Tamamo, though. How would I put baseline Tamamo? She's had a fair bit of character development. She pops up every now and then in the events, as well as the main storyline, just because she is a very big figure in Japanese mythology here. Very much obsessed with being a good wife. Would I rank her? How high would I rank her is the question, though. Definitely has a firmly established personality. And she's very caring, honestly speaking. Very caring. Very nice. A little bit mean at some times, but, you know, that's... I think Tamo, I would put in the date and smash category there. Yeah, I think she's a B+ tier waifu. Her personality just doesn't mesh enough for me. Welcome, Strokes. Welcome to the stream. Hobby things. She might be an S tier waifu for you, but for me, I would say she is a date and smash kind of girl, in my personal, humble opinion. Just, I don't really see going further beyond that in my books, is all it really comes down to. So that brings us to Drake. Drake. Big role to play in one of the earlier singularities here. Yes, Mashu is the one true waifu, and she will be the only one in the S+ tier. Well, I'm glad to know that you are a person of culture. But once again, welcome to the stream. This is my first time doing a ranking of the FGO waifus, and I'll probably update it every year, depending on how many more we get through the course of years. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy sitting around and watching me discuss/debate mentally with myself where I should put all the waifus. But Drake, so she's a case where she had some early singularity significance here. Excuse me. But then it sort of just fell off. We see her every once and again in other events or story segments here, but it's really not enough to really let me rank her high. Plus, honestly speaking, the body proportions are a little bit ridiculous for me for Drake. I kind of low-key ship Drake with Blackbeard, you know? I think for those reasons, I cannot do any more justice than in the needs development category. And I'll say right there in the needs development category. We definitely need more of Drake's personality to come through before I can rank her any higher than that. And Bonnie and Mary Reed, well, you know, I think I will put them in the category that they would very much want to be put in, and that is the just smash category. Because, I mean, when they straight up invite you to their room you know, and imply they are happy with sharing you. I think they definitely will be in the just smash category. It doesn't seem they seem very much into each other more than anything else, so I doubt that they would want to go any higher. We've gotten plenty of development from the both of them through the course of the Okeanos or the Orleans. I think the Orleans Singularity was the one on the water. Yeah. And then the summer event, they've had periodic comings and goings, so yeah. I think the B- tier is fine. Pretty much, yeah, the married characters will be appearing in the not happening tier, for the most part. I mean, pretty much established here. As long as if they make mention that they are waiting for their husbands or something, like, spoiler alert, Tomoe will probably be going in the not happening tier as well, just because she is very much dedicated to her also deceased husband, so, yeah. But, Media, Lily, the one who has stolen pretty much all of baseline Media's character development. It's a shame, really. It really is a shame. That just doing that alone kind of makes me want to rate Media Lily lower than Media, just out of spite. Which, honestly, Media would be all for. But, honestly, Media Lily has a very nice personality, you know? I like Media Lily as a character. Very sweet, very nice. Unlimited Pancakes works. Some decent amount of event appearances, which definitely has given us a good idea of the personality, and a fair bit of story appearances as well. Because of all of that, Media Lily, I think, will go in the B+ tier. The date and smash, because, you know, I could definitely see something there where it would go from there, you know. If she gets a summer form, who knows, she might move up to the A tier. But, she could just very well drop down to the just smash tier as well, depending on how her summer form's personality is, because while summer does cause some madness, it's still part of them. Hey, Velvet, welcome to the unique stream for the last week of 2022. How be things? I need another quick drink. So, next up is actually two servants that... you have Ooh. Ouch. That is not nice. Please bury you in the ground. That's not going to make it any better, though, is the thing. Burying you will not help you get better any faster. You know? Sorry, just got like a burning in my throat for some reason. Just from... It's random. But, feel better, Velvet. Feel better. You can push through. You can push through the COVID. You can beat its butt. After all, would Karna, would Gil, would any of them want you to give in to a disease? I don't think any of them. Karna, Gil, Ozzy, none of them would want you to give in to a disease. So fight back against the disease. Prove your worth to the various heroes. Plus, you know, think of all your Pokemon you would end up abandoning, too. Can't forget about them. But, back to this. Okita and Nobu. Thankfully, they are literally right next to one another, because these two are pretty much attached at the hip. Let's be completely honest here. There is not a Nobu without an Okita. There is not an Okita without a Nobu. And because of that, they will be ranked together, because really, they have very complementary personalities. Okita is... or Nobu is the more jokester. Okita is the more serious one of the two. But they do interchange their traits every once in a while, because, let's be honest here, they are definitely, you know, smashing each other. At least that's my headcanon here. But because of that, I definitely can't separate them on the tier list as far as things goes. I know a lot of people do think Okita very highly as a waifu for them there. And honestly speaking, she has a good personality. It's just, especially with the most recent event. Well, not most recent event, but the event with Himiko, the Yamataiko event there, we actually got to see some of Okita's past there, We really got to see some of the past and saw she's definitely burying a little bit of her true self, beneath a cheerful exterior of a less stressful time there. But that darker self can easily come out. And the same sort of goes for Nobu as well. She definitely has a darker side to her personality there. So I don't think I can put them any higher than they would be together in the room at the same time in the Just Smash category. Nah, I don't think Gil would be like that. I don't think so. Next up is Skaha, or Shisho, however you wish to pronounce, because I cannot pronounce anything but Shisho, and I have reincarnated as a sword to thank for teaching me how to pronounce Shisho at long last. But she's one we've gotten a fair bit of personality on. She did appear in the American Singularity only briefly, a fair bit of appearance in the summer one, and then she's had periodic appearances every now and then more again in a major role in the Land of Shadows event. Definitely can't put her any lower than B- tier. The fact that she is obsessed with dying, however, makes me only want to put her in the B- tier, because definitely has some dark thoughts. She wants to die, So I don't really think that is conducive to being too much higher up in the categories here. If you want to die, you're probably not looking to date anybody. She'd probably be up for this, but, not anything more than that. Santa Salter, I've already ranked base Salter, and the holiday form is included. Jack. Oh, Jackie. Jackie is definitely a Dotaru. So, yeah. Immature personality, immature appearance. Considering, definitely has more childlike personality and all that stuff. Cannot put her anywhere but in the not happening category. If there was an alternate version where, instead of the fetuses of Jack the Ripper being all the fetuses of them, and instead it's the Jack the Ripper is all the children that were born and grown up and, older Jack, maybe. But baseline Jack, no, not happening. Fran is... I will be honest, Fran might have made it into the B- tier had it not been for the Imaginary Scramble event. For the Imaginary Scramble event gave us the idea that Fran is another servant who I will rank later as daughter. And that other servant is definitely in the S tier. So if that's the case, then that makes Fran a daughter as well. Yep, that is logic there. Fran is daughter by technicality, so Fran goes in the not happening category. Good. MHX, the base, the OG, the immature school girl who is also a hero of the Servantverse. Very hungry. We don't, I feel like she's also been getting replaced a lot by XX, if I'm going to be honest here. She's had her fair bit of story appearances, especially in conjunction with XA. I can definitely... I'm not sure. Am I going to rank... Do I want to rank her and XX together? I mean, they do manifest as two separate entities, so probably not. I will say that X on her own, she's got a firmly established personality. However, she's just a bit too immature to really say date. So I think date and smash is the way to go. I'll put her higher up, though. Yeah. No, higher. In fact, you two can go there. And then you can go there. Yeah. Bryn is obviously got Sigurd, not to mention, the fact that, well, I would rather not be stabbed brutally every single second I'm sharing her presence. So, yeah, I think Bryn deserves to go right there in the not happening category. Bride Nero, I've already covered base Nero. Void. Void is one that I don't have, so all I know is based off of events and other such things that feature Void occasionally. And Void is separate from Baseline as well. So Void Shiki is very much obsessed with us, given that she is the root of everything. But really, I just don't feel like there's been enough actual character development from Void to really justify me ranking her anywhere. I feel like the people that do have Void and Shiki on their waifu lists know them mainly from the Garden of Sinners and that stuff. So as far as FGO base goes, I'm going to put Void and Shiki, I think, both in the needs more development tier. You should not be here. Why are you here? Probably because, just because... You're probably here, Astolfo, because... I don't know. Nightingale. Meanwhile, J6 will kill you for putting Kyo... Or, you'll kill me for Kyo, and J6 will kill me for the Shikis, I'm guessing? Is that what you meant to say there, Draconic? Yeah, I can see that happening, but, this is my personal preferences, so... This just means that you guys don't have the competition when it comes to those two. Just think of it that way. Less competition. Yeah. Nightingale. So, Nightingale, I would have put in the needs more development category had it not been for the most recent Christmas event. Well, not most recent, but the Christmas event before. Last year's Christmas event. The 2021 Christmas event. Yeah, got my tongue tied there. That showed us a different side to Nightingale. She's still scary nurse who will now shoot you with a syringe, but there is a softer side underneath all of that. So for that, I think Nightingale can go in the Just Smash category. Maeve, again, no question, Just Smash. In fact, she would be the queen of the Just Smash category. Let's be completely honest here. And that's just because it is who she is as a person. Helena Blavatsky. Helena we've gotten a fair bit of development for. Has a very firmly established personality. Where would I rank her, though? So, what we know about her, she's very much... You're not wrong there, Draconic. You're not wrong. Plus, I'd have to start playing child support, given her noble phantasm. But Helena, we've gotten a good grasp of her personality. She's been in a fair few events, fair few story bits. Definitely more interactable with Tesla and Edison. However, she's gotten enough development that I cannot justify the needs more development category. She does not have any spouse that I would put in the not happening category. Is her personality enough that I would consider dating is the question. I mean, a little bit obsessed with aliens, but that could just be a little bit quirky, I think Helena is a smart enough woman. She's a little quirky. She's got a good personality. Yeah, I think she can go in the B+ tier. Next is going to be the first of the S tier waifus. I am, of course, talking about Zhalter. Zhalter has been with us, or rather part of the FGO story, since near the very beginning, having various pop-ups in various events. Occasionally, the main story as well as far as Shinjuku, but Zhalter has been there a lot. She's got a very firmly established personality. She's a little bit prickly, around the edges there, but her berserker form definitely soothes her out a fair bit, and yeah, Jelter is got a has a good personality, a little bit mean at times, but it could just be motivation. Definitely prefer the Berserker form, but they're all part of her. The Berserker just is, she's not always hating every single thing, which is why I have the preference there. But good personality, good body. I definitely say Jelter is an S tier waifu because she's been with us through quite a bit. Hey, Mordred, welcome to the stream at long last. You're here for the waifu ranking stream as well. Been going on for quite a while actually already, and I'm just now about to get to the first summer, so this could take a while. Let's be honest here, but howie things. Next one is Erie's Vale. Erie's Vale is married to Kiritsugu Amiya. I do not need the Magus Killer on my ass. Not happening, tier. Nope, Zahak was here when I put Jack down there already. Sorry, Mordred, but Zahak was here when I gave my reasonings for putting Jack where I put her, so cannot happen, sadly. But yeah, Iri is married, very clearly pines after the heroic spirit version of Kiritsugu, even if they're not the same people, so I cannot justify putting her any higher than not happening. Shuten Doji. So, I did say, though, Mordred, I did say, though, that if there were an older version of her, she would probably go higher. So, be justified by that. Anyways, Shuten Doji. Had you asked me, tuned into this and Tamamo is only B+, what heresy is this? Welcome, Phantasm V1. Welcome to the stream. Yes, Tamamo is only a B+ tier just because she's good. She's a great character. She's gotten plenty of development, but she's not gotten enough development for me to really put her in the A category there. Just because there is always that there's always that hovering thread of Hakuno waiting for her on the moon. So that is why Tamamo is in the B+ tier. Anyway, Shuten, had you asked me before Shimosa, Shuten would probably be in the B- tier. After Shimosa, though, she's like legit one of the few to actually cause us bodily harm. No, Shuten, I don't care how divine sounding your voice is. No, Kintoki can deal with that. Just no, Shuten, bad. No, Shuten, not happening. Yeah, I know that was healing us, but she enjoyed it. And, that's kind of shown that she probably would not have any qualms with doing that. So, yeah, that's why Shuten is there. So, yeah. Cultured Swine put her up higher. I literally cannot justify putting her any higher. I literally cannot justify putting Shuten any higher than this, Just because, again, she was a B- tier until she rearranged our guts and has likely expressed interest. I'm pretty sure she said that she felt happy while doing that in the actual Chaldea too, because of the connection that they had. So yeah, not happening with Shuten. It's not fair. I'm not fair. You're right. It's not fair to put her below the Daughteroos or the married women. In fact, why Bryn is that high, I don't know. So I will do justice. I will put her with the other Yandere, in the list. I'll put her next to Kyo. There we go. She's technically higher up in the categories. Sanzang. So, Sanzang, we have a decent bit of character development for her. First in the Journey to the West event, and then following up in Summer 2 and Camelot, we've seen a little bit of Sanzang. We have a firm grasp of her personality. Hey, I'm a firm lesbian here, Draconic. See this? I'm a firm lesbian. Plus, Dragon Witch. Duh. But Sunzong has had a fair bit of character development throughout the course of the early game. I will say, though, she's kind of dropped off the radar since early game. I can honestly not think of what her most recent character appearance was beyond Summer 2. Like, I'm legitimately struggling. I don't think she's been in anything since Summer 2, outside of maybe the occasional splurge of the occasional one-off line in another summer event. Her personality, she's definitely a ditz. A very dedicated, very devoted ditz, but definitely a ditz. Because of that, I really cannot justify putting her any higher than B-. Zoom out a little bit more. Good gracious, how small is this list going to be in the end? You remember her being in the Sparrow Inn event? Yeah, I don't even remember that appearance there. She must have been a guest or something along those lines. So, yeah. Raiko. Raiko is somewhat... Well, she's also a member of the Stalker Trio. So that says a lot about her. Yeah, that's what I mentioned. Journey of the West and Summer 2 and Camelot. I'm pretty sure those were the only appearances of Sunzong in main story/events in recent memory. But... Minamoto no Raiko. She is part of the Stalker Trio. Yeah, so that says a lot about her already, that she is a member of the Stalker Trio, in the fact that she's, you know, if she was more like she was in the most recent Heian Kyo event, or story, if she had her baseline personality, I could definitely see her going, at the very least, B- tier. However, she does not have that personality. Not at all. We do not see that softer side of her that much. She cries a lot of crocodile tears, to be honest. She's going to hate me for this as well. But she's going to sit right next to Shuten. Yeah, she's probably going to hate me for that. Welcome, Polar Kyo Mange. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy me ranking all of the various waifus here of FGO according to my personal tastes here. I am almost at Summer 1 as far as the list goes here. I'm really not sure how long this is going to take. Because, like, how many more rows do I have to go? Okay, actually, this is not a comprehensive list. Well, shoot. This list is not as big as I thought as it should be. I'm going to have to find another list and transfer everything over at some point. Thank you for the follow, by the way, Polar Kyo. Thank you very much. Yeah, this only goes up to, what, Summer 3? Yeah. True. They'll hunt me down if they're not busy hunting each other. I'm sure Shuten is fine with it, though. Shuten is probably A-okay. Let's be honest here. She'd probably be amused, if nothing else. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to find another list. So I might make it to here and then stop and resume this another time. So let's keep going then, for the time being. Ibaraki. I do not need to accidentally click on an ad. Ibaraki Doji. Can I get rid of this little ad blurb? Cancel. There. No, it's still there. It's still there. Yep, it's still there. Let's see about a little more, because I want to keep the whole list on the screen. There we go. Or I go try to kill Shuten before killing me. Quite possibly, yes. Quite possibly, yes. But that's why I will have the other waifus to protect. Excuse me. Anyways, back to the list. Ibaraki Doshi. Kind of in the same boat as Shuten. Except more immature than Shuten, to be completely honest here. Ibaraki is less mature than Shuten. And probably a bit more bloodthirsty. I could definitely see Shuten possibly playing around with us a little bit. So, you might think so, Draconic. And don't kill me for this. But I'm going to put her in the D ranking. Also, because I kind of got some vibes between her and Watanabe Suna in the most recent event, or the most recent Lost Belt Singularity thing. Kind of got some vibes between the two, you know. So she's going in the not happening. Just it is what it is. Pull Kyo and D-Rank no judge. Yeah, not happening with Kyo. Not happening. I kind of would like to be able to occasionally lie to set up surprises, you know. And with Kyo, that's a one-way ticket to being burnt alive. And she would be fine with that too. So yeah. That's why Kyo's there. Nito Burrito, Nita Chris. She's one that we've had a fair bit of development with her. She's often seen with, what's her face? Thank you, Marisa Eternal, for the follow. It is greatly appreciated. You're willing to be burnt alive for Kyo? You do you, Draconic. You do you. But, anyways, Nita Burrito, Nita Chris. She is a very good servant. We get a lot of her personality through the course of Camelot, and she's had quite a few appearances ever since. Very much has a bit of an inferiority complex going on for her, but can be confident when, you know, she really wants to be. She's got a good amount of development. We know her personality. She's got a good personality. A little bit unconfident, but, you know, has those occasional bouts of confidence and stuff, especially when it comes to sticking up for her best friend and or Ozymandias, best friend being her here. So I think Nitocris is going to be the first in the waifu candidate category here. She has the potential to move up. She has the potential to move up to a waifu, but she's not there just yet. Serenity. Hassan of Serenity, the third and final member of the Stalker trio. However, she's definitely a little bit different between the two. Kyo will burn you alive for lying to you. Raiko will likely kill you if you associate with the wrong people. Serenity will kill you for just touching her if you do not have poison resistance of a very high ranking. And that is why she is a stalker, because she craves physical attention. Now, that said, she really has not had much in the way of personality development outside of the whole being starved for affection thing. And they've kind of ran with that as her core personality. She's part of the soccer trio because of that. So they really haven't put much effort into developing her as a character. So because of that, because honestly, she is a cutie, I will admit that, and she's got a decent personality, we just need to see more of it. So unlike the rest of the stalker trio, Serenity is in the needs development category. Da Vinci, otherwise known as MASH's first mom. Need I say more than no? Not happening? I don't think I really do. The next string of servants is Summer, form of Arctoria, which is not any different. Same thing with Marie and Bonnie. Summer Mo. Where's... This list doesn't even have normal Mo. What? This list doesn't have normal Mordred on this. What is this? Hang on. That's just odd. Does normal Mordred not have the... I wonder, is that why they included Astolfo? Hang on, I'm checking something here real quick. Show me Mordred on the Fate Grand Order fandom wiki. No, she's listed as a gender female. I don't know why baseline Mordred is missing from this. And in fact, I'm going to actually really quickly... I think she's the first one that's properly missing as far as release order here. So I guess Summer Mo will be her stand-in for the time being. So Summer Mordred, or just Mordred in general. Mordred is another servant that we have seen a fair bit of throughout the course of the game, appearing first in London, then in Camelot. She's had a lot of appearances. We've gotten a very firm grasp of her personality, and it's a nice personality. She's definitely brash. She is loud, but she can be funny and nice at the same time. She's a cat person. Cannot say no to cat people, you know? People that like cats are awesome, because I'm a cat person as well. I think that because of the amount of character development Mordred has gotten, and she's definitely a good character. I like Mordred. She's got a good personality. Can be a bit aggressive at times, but you know, that's something that can be worked on. I think she belongs in the A tier for waifu. Oh yeah, Apocrypha anime is another we can see her post-Apocrypha development, I feel, for sure. So Mordred is definitely in the A tier. But I've got the list of all the servants loaded up here. I'm going to quickly glance through to make sure nobody was missed here real quick. Boudica, Ushi, Marie, Modadun. Keep going. Seno, Zhangqi, Matahari, Carmilla, Kyo, Kat, Jeanne d'Arc, Artemis, Halloween, Liz, Tamamo, Drake, Bonnie, Lily, Soji, Nobu, Skaha, Santera. Nursery Rhyme was also missed, apparently. It would have been Nursery Rhyme, Jack, and Mordred should have been the order of those ones. So that's weird that they skipped over Nursery Rhyme as well. We got Fran. Hang on, I'm just going to check really quickly to make sure nobody else went missing. So, Nursery Rhyme and Mordred were skipped on this list for some reason. That's very odd. Serenity, Da Vinci, then Summer. Okay, yeah, so that's it. Mordred is more of a best friendo. I mean, who's to say best friendos can't become waifus, though? Draconic, let's be honest. The mindset that you cannot be, your best friend cannot become your significant other is just silly, to be honest here. So yeah, that's why Mordred's there. But Nursery Rhyme was skipped, so when I find the other list, I will have to rank her. I will say now, though, Nursery Rhyme is probably going to go in the C tier, simply because she has a very firmly established personality there, and is definitely more mature than a lot of the other younger-looking servants. So I think when I do get the chance, Nursery Rhyme will likely go in the C tier category, because needs development does not only mean mental development, it could also mean physical. So that's my logic there. But we're now on to a couple of childlike servants. The next one being Eliasvale von Einsburn. Raiko's one of the... Yeah, probably. Or she would be the one that insists on, you know, being creepy about it all. Because if you've read a lot of Reddit stories, those kinds exist. But Eliasvale von Einsburn here. So, Ilia is... This is the Ilia from the Khaled timeline, where she is a magical girl. She would be both. True, Raiko would be both. So, magical girl Ilia. Definitely much younger than what you would expect Ilia to be in personality-wise. Very much immature, but does have some more adult mental development there. So Ilia has the occasional adult mindset, but she is very much still a child at heart and mind, you know. Plus I kind of can't help those, her and me, let's be honest here, like, it's probably the watching the Prisma Ilia bias that says that, but her and me just, you know, if you know, you know. So yeah, Ilia, I think I'm gonna say not gonna happen. Chloe, however, is definitely not Ilia. Chloe is Ilia, but she isn't Ilia. She's Ilia's suppressed side. The side that was created by the Einsburns suppressed, meshed with Emiya, and likely a bit more of Ilya's more repressed thoughts and mind. So Chloe definitely has a more mature mindset. I would not... Again, I'm trying to not take bias into account based on the Prillia timeline, but Chloe pulls a move off there that is definitely not something I could foresee any child willingly doing. So she's got a fair bit of mental development under her belt. Mental development, yes, she definitely has an adult mindset. Physical development is where she definitely needs more. So because of that, she's in the C tier. She needs more development on the physical side in her case. Then it's another version of Liz. Cleopatra has Caesar, so she's married. Go with all of the other not single women. Yeah. Janta. Janta is the child form of Jelter. Jelter, who does not really... Janta's a confusing mess. Praise be Long Janta. Praise be her. In fact, yes, I'm going to do this. So you're going to become this. I'm going to add a row above. Can I stop? Oh, great, I got to press the X. And then this one is going to be called There we go. Janta, you get your own category. The Praise Long Janta category. For she is the great equalizer. She taught us all the true meaning of Christmas was being equal. She is truly very mentally mature. She could realize that we all needed to come together under one common ground of being a 0-day login streak. Praise be Long Janta. Praise be. Next is Ishtar. I'm going to make sure nobody else was skipped as far as the list goes. Nope. So Ishtar is next. Ishtar. We get a fair bit of development. She is pretty much with us through most of Babylonia there. So we know a fair bit of Ishtar's personality there. Greedy, but kind of a little bit, useless. She is a little bit of a useless goddess, but definitely greedy beyond all belief, considering she was willing to, sacrifice a lot in order to resummon her pet bull, which, to be fair, was stolen from her. So, the greed, we have her personality is firmly established. So because her personality is very firmly established, she's not going to get any more development. Is the personality good enough? Or do I mesh well with the personality enough to put her high? I'm going to say Ishtar is... I'm going to have to zoom out again. Good gracious. Ishtar, you're going to go in the B tier. Just smash right next to Maeve, because realistically speaking, I cannot see going any further than that with Ishtar. Quetzalcoatl. She is another fairly popular one, from what I understand. Definitely obsessed with Lucha, big sis energy, all that kind of stuff. Where would I rank? True enough, Polar. True enough. I mean, she is the one true waifu, so that's definitely going to happen. But Quetzalcoatl. So, big sis energy. A little bit scary. Let's be honest here. Obsessed with Lucha. Such great is her obsession that it kind of overtakes the Christmas power of Santa to a slight degree. Nothing wrong with that, but that kind of obsession is a little bit much. And because of that, outside of seeing a slightly different side in Babylonia, where we see that she can be a fair bit deceptive in that she would still kill people, but, resurrect them to serve her, I would say we don't really have enough of her personality. So I'm going to put Quetz in the needs more development rating. just because I do think a summer version of her might give her that push to push her higher up. Gorgon. Oh, Gorgon. So, Gorgon's tricky. And now that I'm seeing, I don't think they included Anna on here, did they? Hang on. Yeah, they did not include Medusa Lancer. I'm really going to need to find another list to keep going with eventually. Really, really am, because they did not put Anna on here. Dang nabbit. So we'll skip Anna and go to Gorgon. So Gorgon is an Avenger, so that means she's always in a bit of hatred mode. I don't have her personally, so I don't know what happens in the various interludes with her, and she only has the occasional event appearance. So based off event as well as Babylonia, if I get her, she obviously will go up a bit. So because of that, I'm going to put her in the needs more development tier. Jaguar Man, Jaguar Warrior, however it is she wishes to be called. So Jaguar Man, I am trying to think here. Klutzy personality, but can get serious when push comes to shove. More of a joke character than most, to be completely honest. Yeah, Jaguar Man's more of a joke character than anything, so I think we do need another version of her so we can see more character development, so in the needs more development tier. Tiamat does not get summoned, so she does not get ranked. Musashi. So, a very, very popular character Musashi is. Hang on, I need a drink. Popular but contentious. You ask 20 different people if they like Musashi, you're probably going to get various different answers. As for my personal opinions as far as Musashi goes, I think she's obviously had plenty of character development. Her personality is pretty much down pat. There's not going to be any sort of changes as far as her personality goes. So we know what she's like. She's definitely been around the block, so she's probably has a lot of knowledge. So she's likely somewhat intelligent. Whether or not she retains it all, that's kind of questionable, considering she seems a bit of a ditz. Is her personality really mesh well? I mean, she does have... I don't know. I think she's just too much of a ditz, really. So I think that Musashi, I could definitely see smashing, but beyond that, I don't think so. XA. Oh, MHXA. She is another one that I have waxed upon many a times before, so it should be no one's shock when I put her in the waifu category. The reason being because, well, I very much like XA's whole personality that is developed through the course of her sort of mini interlude / the event that sort of goes along with her. She's had a lot of event appearances, mainly as far as Saber Wars goes. She's got that sort of quirky, chuny personality there that, it's just adorable. Very much obsessed with chocolate, kind of lazy, but I think XA is very firmly in the waifu category here. And I've waxed about her enough in other media that I don't really need to go off explaining why. Though I will if asked. Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha real smooth. Meanwhile, Cha-Cha is definitely a brat. No lies here. Cha-Cha is a bit of a brat, let's be honest. She's very much self-obsessed, given that she calls herself Cha-Cha. So that personality is... personality could definitely use a little bit of work there, but I don't really feel like Cha-Cha's personality is going to be changing all that much, if I'm going to be completely honest here. So because Cha-Cha is set in her ways, and I don't really care for the personality, nor the appearance, I think down here in the not happening tier is the appropriate place. Melt. Oh, my Melt, my Melt, my Melt. She's level 104 with me, Bond 11, working on Bond 12. I was willing to go 324 boxes deep for her. She is very firmly in the S tier of the waifu category just because of the whole premise of the CCC event. That is such a great character-driven event that develops Melt's character so well that I really cannot put her any lower. And honestly, before the CCC event, I knew nothing about her. I just wanted her because she was an alter ego. But the CCC event changed all that and firmly established her in the waifu category. Lip, Melt's younger sister, meanwhile, is another character. We have a firmly established personality, firmly established looks. However, definitely lower self-esteem. However, low self-esteem, but also high opinion of others. So a bit of a contradiction there. Because of the whole sadism masochism thing as far as Lip goes. Definitely could use some work as far as things go. But I like her. She's a nice character. She's very sweet. She's got her passions and stuff. So I think it only makes sense to put Passion Lip, the girl with the passions. I could definitely see the dating portion. Tomoe. Tomoe. She's a character. That much is certain. We know a fair bit about Tomoe as far as a character goes. She has a very firmly established character role. That being of a... I can't think of the nice word for it. I really cannot think of the nice word for her. Oh, JK. She's a JK. I don't really care for that. I'm going to be honest. I'd like to see some more of her personality. That is not that. We got a little bit of a glimpse of it when she managed to fight through the evilness in the He and Kyo most recently, but it wasn't really enough here, so definitely need some more development from Tomoe. BB, the Kohai. The false Kohai. The one who insists that she's the true Kohai, but it's not the true Kohai. There's a couple Kohais, but there's only one true Kohai, and BB's trying to take her spot. So not gonna be a waifu tier, nor a waifu candidate. Definitely manipulative, pranksterish, impish, Summer BB shows that she's definitely got some yandere tendencies there, so I don't really think I can put her higher, and she would probably not like me for this, than the B-. Just smash. Only smash the BB. That's all for her. I am getting close to a point where I'm going to want to wind down here. I think that once we hit the end of... I think Santa Altera might be the last... Actually, no. I'm just going to go firm in about 14 minutes is going to be what I'm going to call the stream here, just because I have been going for a fair while with this. And my voice is starting to hurt because I'm still not fully healed from having the flu. So, we'll keep going. You. I honestly did not like this caster. I did not like the caster of the Nightless City. For the longest time. Still not the biggest fan of her, to be completely honest. She spit on Romani's, sacrifice there. I've gotten a little bit over, that whole thing in time, but honestly, the cowardly personality and the body proportions, I really cannot justify ranking her any higher than that happening. Just saying. Just not gonna happen as far as she goes. Just don't really like the personality, and honestly, it's too exaggerated of a body appearance. So, assassin of the Nightless City, or Wu Zaitan. She's one that is probably going to change when we get her summer variant in about a year and a half at this rate. Year and a half? Yeah, that checks out, I think. So yeah, in a year and a half, she's probably going to change, though. But right now, she is very sadistic. Very, very sadistic. Hello, Storm Reaper. Hello, welcome to the stream, Albie Things. I read your name off there, and... Oh, that's Hellstorm... I read your name as Hello Storm Reaper, not Hellstorm Reaper. My mistake. Hello, Hellstorm Reaper. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy my ranking of the FGO waifus. Pretty sure her personality will stay the same. It's a possibility. It is a possibility, but because she might get some personality development, I don't really care for her personality at the current point in time, but it could definitely go some places, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and put her in the C tier of needs more development. Penthesilea. She who will murderize you if you call her the B word. Or kind of imply anything along those lines. Only started 1 month ago, but definitely took advantage for Christmas. Yeah, she will murderize you. She's, it's all based on her legend. Pretty much Achilles implied such when she was dying by him, and that sort of rage in thinking that Achilles held back on her because she was beautiful for the most part sort of engraved itself in her very soul, where not only is she obsessed with killing Achilles, but yeah, she also hates the B word, and she also refuses to manifest as her older self because that her older self is more beautiful. Yeah, curse Achilles indeed. But Penth, not the servant version, version of Penth, which is an up and coming CEO. Baseline Penth, she is a bloodthirsty murder hobo. Yeah. I don't really think that she's got much of a personality beyond bloodthirsty murder hobo who wants to kill Achilles. And will kill you if you imply that she's attractive. So... right there. Let's see. Next is Bunyan. So, Bunyan. Paul Bunyan. Definitely another child servant. Slightly more mature personality, but that is somewhat tempered by the berserker tendency, sort of over-exaggerating the wanting to bring about civilization, which is honestly kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie. No, she really cannot take a genuine compliment. If you're complimenting her appearance, then no, she cannot take a genuine compliment. Penth can't. But Paul Bunyan, definitely a somewhat mature outlook on things that is tempered by a berserker's mindset. So because I know we will be getting a variant of Bunyan, of Paul here, within the next year, I want to say, I will put her in the needs more development category to see where what she develops into, because honestly, she's the perfect candidate for the needs more development category, because we will be getting her more grown up soon. So, yeah, I think she is pretty much the definition of needs more development. Then there's Summer Fran, which I've already covered. Normal Fran, same thing with Nito, Nobu, Malter, Helena, Raiko, Ishtar, Parvati. Parvati's married. And considering what her husband did to the last person that kind of pissed him off, yeah, I don't need to be incinerated. Even if I would like to become a whole universe, I'd rather not be incinerated to do so. So, no go for Parvati. And then Tomoe. Tomoe's obsessed with her dead husband, too. She's still faithful to him. So, obsessed with husband. Not happening. I am not like that. Nope, not gonna happen. That's one step above Dark Souls. Oh, FGO, the lore can get quite bonkers at times. quite bonkers indeed. Anyways, so next is Chiyome. So, Chiyome had a very small role in her debut of Shimosa. A very, very small role. She was one of the evil spirits that you fought. As time has gone, though, we have gotten to see more of Chiyome's personality. Olympus, in particular, really made Chiyome shine through. It got us to get her to know her more as a character. She was willing to make some big sacrifice plays. She's got a nice personality. She's a cutie. So I think she can go in the B tier. Danzo, aka the puppet robot ninja, who's also a mom. Did I tick off enough boxes there? I think I did. But, yeah. So, as far as personality goes... Indeed, give me a drink. As far as the personality for Danzo goes, she's definitely got a more motherly personality. She can tease, though. She can tease occasionally. She makes jokes. Very much a nice servant. I like the personality, like the body. The only thing holding her back from being too high is the fact that she is got some problems with her memory. She doesn't really remember everything in particular. She definitely could move up higher. I do have some interludes to do, but based on what I've seen of Danzo, I think putting her in the just smash category is perfectly fine. Osaka Behime. Osaka Behime, the NEET. The resident and the first NEET in Chaldea. How do I feel about Osaka Behime? So, similar interests, I guess. Both obsessed with games and that kind of stuff. But she takes it to a bit too far of an extreme. Both procrastinators, her and I, so there could be that similarity there. But she's honestly a little bit annoying with her attempts to blend Japanese and English slang together. I don't really care for the outfits she wears either. And honestly, she's a little bit too heavy of a NEET for me. So I think just smashing is probably where Osaka Behime will go. The Mecha Ellies, aka Robot Guardians for the Hejet Pyramid Castle thing. It's a very, very large. She does. It's just more her way of speaking. Yeah, probably. But the Mech Ellie-chans. So they are distinct from base Elizabeth, which is why I am ranking them, is because they are technically their own characters, but we don't really get too much about them, to be honest. Like, they go along with Ellie's shenanigans every once in a while, but we haven't really seen them as their own person. Even then, it's more just, there's only one Mecha Ellie. The second Mecha Ellie isn't really another character at all, so I think we need some more development from base Mecha Ellie before we can fully rank her. Cersei is next. Cersei's gotten... Let's see. So Cersei, I want to say, was first made present... Yeah, why am I saying... I want to say. Cersei was first made present in the Salem event where she stole Media's spotlight. Again. But she fulfilled a decent role in the event, and as time has gone, she's appeared in lots of other events that have let us learn more about her personality there, and she even starred in her own event, the A in Spring Breeze, which definitely gave her a bit of closure as far as characters go. So she's had a bit of a... She's had a bit of a character arc, honestly, Cersei has. So because she has had a character arc, we do know that her personality is pretty much established, and we got to see it a little bit there towards the end of A in Spring Breeze. Definitely a more mature personality. She sort of let go of the demons of her past. The past regrets are no longer really shackling her down, and she was a new woman who was looking forwards to the future. That kind of hopeful optimism, the fact that she is a decent enough cook, and she's a cutie, so I think date is firmly for Cersei. Next is Base Abby. So this is the Abby that is the heroic spirit, not the Abby from Salem. That'll be Summer Abby probably next time. So baseline Abby is definitely far too childish as far as a mindset goes. I will say this, though. Summer Abby, which is Salem Abby, will be ranking separately and will not be in the not happening tier. But baseline Abigail Williams, who is just a girl from Salem, who is being corrupted by an eldritch entity, mind you, I don't really think I can justifiably put her anywhere other than the not happening category. I will say, though, just a quick spoiler alert, the Salem Abby that we interacted with is going to be at least B+ tier. Just as a slight spoiler alert. Aresh. Oh, Areshkagul. She wormed her way into a great many people's hearts through the course of Babylonia. And because she wormed her way into all those people's hearts, she wormed her way into mine as well. Her sacrifice and the fact that she was willing to be completely erased in the Christmas in the Underworld event showed that she cared about us a fair bit. And honestly, you kind of fall for her as well. Oh, I'm almost done for the day here. I've almost run out of the servants I can properly rank here. So yeah. I've almost ran out of the servants that I can properly rank here, plus I have been going for a while. So I'm probably going to only be ranking the next another couple servants and then calling it. I'll be continuing this because I do need to find a more list, because this isn't even all of them. Because there's like so many more servants that aren't on this list yet that I'm going to need to do. Thank you for the follow, though, Hellstorm Reaper. Thank you for the follow, indeed. If you type !FC, then this is kind of a bad stream for you at the moment. Why is this a bad... Oh, the spoiler thing, yep. But if you put !FC into the chat, you'll see my friend code. And I can go ahead and add you as a friend on FGO, just in case, you know? But, anyways, Uresh, she wormed her way into many people's hearts, including mine. She was willing to make the big sacrifice plays, and really, really do have to respect that kind of commitment. Plus, she's got an adorable personality, so I feel no qualms about putting Areshkagul in the waifu category. Alright, so I will do 3 more here real quick, and then end things off for today's streams. Hokusai. Yep, I'm trying to avoid direct spoilers, but, yeah. He did say he's only been playing for a month, but still. Some of this stuff is more niche stuff that isn't really spoken of in the story, so I think we're approaching a point where it's fine. But Hokusai, first introduced in a New Year event, shares a spirit origin with her father, which can make things a little bit creepy there, but when it is Oi herself in control, she's got an adorable personality. Is she a bit of a lazy bones? Yeah, but she's also very much obsessed with her work. Clean her up a bit and pretty much give her the motivation, and I'm sure she would make an excellent waifu. So for now, she's going in the waifu category. She could go higher if more character development, but honestly, put Kuro in the knees more developmentally since she can literally grow up. Yeah, that's kind of why some of these characters are in the needs more development. It's mental or physical, you know. You say that, but we get a grown-up version of Paul Bunyan eventually, Mordred. So, it wouldn't surprise me if they pull that out of nowhere. Alright, so penultimate servant is Semiramis. Semiramis has Amakusa Shiro. So, need I say more? She goes with all of the other characters that has a romantic interest in Chaldea. So the not happening tier for Cleo. I will go ahead and confirm you, by the way, Hellstorm. And the final one that I'm going to rank is Fujino. So, Fujino is another character that comes from another piece of media as far as Fate. I want to say Garden of Sinners, Kara no Kyoko, all that kind of stuff. So normally I would put her in the needs more development tier. However, this is a big however, in the most recent summer event, there was that whole little thing at the end that sort of was spending a day with a disembodied ghost that she was. I'm guessing Plasma Reaper, by the way, Hellstorm. I'm guessing that is you. But you spend a whole day, quote unquote, with her, and you get to know her as a personality. So I think that we get a fair bit of her personality. She's a very nice, sweet girl, you know. Definitely has a lot of wishes and dreams, and I like her appearance too. So I think the date and smash category, and she will even go decently up it there as well, will be her ranking. Okay, I will go ahead and confirm you here. Then you've already got a fairly solid setup so far. Who did you get for? Did you get Tomoe as your tutorial role there? Out of curiosity, because nice, she is a fairly solid start off to things. So well done on that. I hope that you will find my friends list useful. There should be waivers and such to help with farming and all that kind of stuff. But outside of that, I think that this is going to be where I call today's ranking of the FGO waifus. I need to find another list because this one did lack the baseline Mordred. It lacked Nursery Rhymed. It actually lacks Nezha as well as the Queen of Sheba, now that I'm looking through things. So Nezha, Queen of Sheba are missing. So yeah. Plus, I need to somehow figure out how to split the Valkyries into their 3 forms, because they all get ranked separately as well. But Sheba's out there? No, Queen of Sheba's not out here. Unless she's further down, but... Oh, I completely skipped. I skipped her. Whoopsies. I skipped Queen of Sheba. My bad. But Nezha's not on here, so, you know, this list is incomplete. I will need to find another version of it, so I will have to port over pretty much all of this stuff, or figure out how to add more pictures to this one, because, yeah, some people are missing. You got her by luck. Summer Martha is a pretty decent ruler. Let's be honest. You'll definitely do well by leveling her up. So yeah, just as a bit of advice, level up Summer Martha if you get the chance. But this is the list as it currently stands. Later on this week, when I find a better version of all the waifus, or add more to it myself, I will continue with this list. I also need to see if I can't find a family tree maker so I can make the Great Chaldean family tree as well, eventually. That'll be fun, because it'll be every single servant that is currently out in the game. How many are we at right now? 300 and... Oh, no, probably in the 200s, yeah. A couple hundred servants that I'll have to rank by family relation to where I would consider them. That will be fun. But that's definitely going to happen later, possibly not even this week if I cannot find a good maker for it, but that is all in the future. So for now, I think that I am going to call today's stream here. So if you enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to try... Excuse me. If you want to make sure you catch when I go live, be sure to drop me a follow here if you're watching this on Twitch. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please be sure to drop a subscribe if you like. It is greatly appreciated, as would a like. Sub only if you really have the dependable income. But once again, I thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you once again to Polar Keo Mange, Marissa Eternal, and Hellstorm Reaper 22 for the follows. It has been greatly appreciated, and I hope to see you next time. Have a fantastic evening, everybody. Alright, let's see here. Is this gonna work or will it not? Move the microphone a little closer. Looks good. A little closer. Sounds good as well. Alrighty. So, hello, people of the internet. It is I, Soulrack Dragon, here, back to continue/finish the waifu rankings of FGO. This is going to be pretty much all that happens in today's stream. I do have to go out to other bits of family, other members of the family, to see their houses, see what they got for Christmas, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we're going to finish off the waifu rankings today here. I did find another tier list thing here and went through the process of putting every single waifu into it because I couldn't figure out how to import. This tier list did, however, have pretty much every male servant as well, so I went ahead and moved them to the bottom of the pile here. And yeah, also moved all the holiday variants that we're not really going to concern ourselves with. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 24, 36, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 52 servants still to go through. So, with a quick little zoom out, I think we should continue. Also, I do have the My Room soundtrack of FGO going on in the background because I feel like it was a little bit quiet last time here. So, without further ado, let us continue the waifu rankings with the first servant that had been apparently not on the last list, and that is Nursery Rhyme. So, I gave a little bit of a spoiler last time when I said I was going to rank her, and that is because she is going to be in the C tier of waifus, needing a bit more development. Mainly for the reason that Nursery Rhyme is a fairly mature character. We get a lot of maturity of Nursery Rhyme, you know. Appearance-wise, obviously is the thing that needs more development, but we have a very firm, established personality for Nursery Rhyme, and it is a fairly mature one. Sure, she's a little bit childish at times, but let's be honest, we can all be childish at times, you know. But given that she has a lot more character development and a more established personality, I'd say we just need physical development sort of to go along with her being ranked any higher. And of course that leads us to the opposite end of the spectrum with Lancer Artoria Alter. Yeah, London, the Journey to the West event, and a little bit of Olympus. That's all we got on Lancer. Like, one of the least developed characters in FGO. And there's a lot of people that really do like her as well, so it's honestly surprising. So she is going into the C tier of needs more development. It was there, it's just off. It's a little bit too small with text box, but that's fine. Yep, let me just... No, that didn't work. Needs more development. She's going in the C tier as well, sort of towards the higher end, because while she does have a rockin' bod, we don't really know anything about her. So yeah, Lancer, C tier, definitely needs some more development. Next is Hassan of 100 Faces. So, again, another character we don't really have a firmly established personality with. I feel like that's what a majority of the C tier development really is going towards. Now, she does have a fairly decent role to play in the Camelot Singularity. I will say that, but beyond Camelot, I can't really think of much that is really known about 100 Faces. She's getting much more development in... not Prototype, she's getting more development in another Fate work, Strange Fake, yeah. She's getting a lot more development in Strange Fake, as she's the assassin of that war, so hopefully some of that development will eventually translate over to FGO, but with low character development right now, I am going to be putting Hassan of 100 Faces in the C tier. Next, though, is a character that has gotten a fair bit of development, and that is Lancer Artoria, otherwise known as the Lion King or the Bunny Lion King, since the summer form is just another variant, is just her, but in a swimsuit. Thank you, Gawain and Lancelot. But we know a lot about her, the Lion King. Not the same thing from the Camelot Singularity, so it doesn't really have too big of a prevalence as far as the story goes. However, I do feel like we see her a lot in events, and she definitely shone in the summer event that had her as the quote-unquote antagonist of it. But we know a fair bit about her. She's got a good body, but I would say, while she does have a bit of a more playful personality, she's also a little bit ignorant, you know? If she could be tricked by Lancelot and Gawain, she's kind of easy to trick, a little bit ignorant. I think I will put her in the B- tier of just smash. Fairly high up, though, because, let's be honest, yeah. Anna, meanwhile, is another servant that I'm actually going to rank fairly highly. Anna, or Medusa Lily, Medusa Lancer, whatever you want to call her, had a very prevalent role in the Babylonia Singularity. She did a big sacrifice play, and, spoiler alert, she comes back as Gorgon, her older self, even though she despised Gorgon and the fact that she became a monster. Definitely has a softer side, despite having a cold bit of personality. All in all, Anna has a very well-established character there, and yeah, I like Anna quite a bit. She made the big sacrifice play, so she will go in the date and smash category, and fairly decent up ways too. Because yeah, I like Anna. Anna's a very good character. Nezha, meanwhile, honestly has gotten a little bit shafted over time. First introduced in the Going West event, from what I understand. I honestly don't really remember the role she had in the Going West event, but then had some prevalence in the Salem Singularity, and then was going to have prevalence in the Indian Lost Belt, and got very early on, unfortunately. But, yeah, so we know a fair bit about Nezha's personality. Once a guy transformed into a girl because this is a doll body or whatever, speaks in a very robotic tone, you know? Very clearly bright, but the manner of speech is a little bit off-putting. All in all, though, I would say that I won't put her in the D tier, because not a D tier. I'd say we need a bit more development, because the story segments she has been in have either been overshadowed by others, a la Salem, or she's been sort of cut out fairly early on, a la the Indian Lost Belt. So I will put Nezha in the needs development tier. I would say probably, like, here should be fine. Yeah, that's a fair bit of development that is needed. And we zoom out a little bit more. The tier list is getting very, very small at this point, but we are moving on to the Queen of Sheba, aka Romani's former wife, aka Mash's second mom. Need I say more? To the D tier with you, because, yeah, I'm not doing that to Mashu. Nope, not gonna happen. Anastasia, meanwhile, I am more than happy to put in the B- tier, because Kadak is the reason Chaldea was frozen, and Anastasia is sort of also part of that reason as well. But she does have a more mischievous personality when we summon her, and not her Lost Belt variant. So definitely more of a mischievous personality, from what I understand. I don't have her personally, but I have seen some of the interludes and stuff with her, so more mischievous personality. I know she's going to get some more development in the upcoming summer event, I want to say, so she doesn't need more development because we already have a fairly firm grasp of her personality. I like her looks, so she's going to go in the B tier of just smashing. She has a potential to move up, though, based on the upcoming summer event. Adelante Alter is kind of overshadowing baseline Adelante at this point in time. They seem to use her for any instance of Adelante, and have been going forwards. Pretty much the same personality as base Adelante, except for a little bit more on the quote-unquote wild side, I guess. She's got a fairly decently firmed down personality there. Decent body, but honestly speaking, I can't really see a blossoming relationship form from there just because, you know, she's a little bit, what's the word? She's a bit too wild for me, I think is the best way to put it. So, but that wildness does lend itself to one thing, and that is smashing. Oki-tan, meanwhile. Oh, Oki-tan. So, initially, before rolling for her and seeing the story event that she was a part of, I was going to say no way to Oki-tan. She is pretty much Okita is to be with Nobu, no ifs, ands, or buts. And then we got Oki-tan, who honestly is not Okita in the slightest. Excellent character development throughout the course of the event that she takes part in, makes a big sacrifice play towards the end, a little bit of a ditz, as evident by the subsequent events that she takes part in, but still a very solid character. I would love to put her in S tier, but sadly, the ditzy part is keeping me from putting her any higher than A tier, but she is the current height of A tier. The next three are the Valkyries. They are thankfully going to be ranked separately here because I honestly have different opinions of all three of the Valkyries because despite what they say, they all have their distinct personalities. So, first off is Ortland, the base ascension form for the Valkyries. She is, honestly, the most adorable of the bunch. She is quiet, unassuming, nerdy, but also very observant and kind. For that reason, she is going to go in the A tier of waifu, just below Oki-tan, in fact. Hildur is the bubbly and cheery personality of all the Valkyries. Definitely more fun, loving, outgoing, sociable, all that kind of stuff. Does come off as a bit of a ditz at times, but you know, nothing wrong with that. I will think, though, that because of the more outgoing personality, I'm not really that outgoing of a person myself, I think just in the B- tier of just smashing is a good place for her. Thrud, meanwhile, the more serious one of the bunch, definitely a leader to the other two Valkyries, much more set in the ways of the Valkyrie where they are supposed to be unfeeling automatons and, you know, tries to do that kind of stuff but doesn't really succeed. I will say that is sort of holding her back from being higher ranked. So Thrud will be going in the C tier. We need her to push back against that sort of mindset for her to truly shine. Scotty, meanwhile, the first of the the second of the Lost Belt Kings that I will be ranking here. Scotty is maternal. Very much a maternal figure to all in Chaldea. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, low-key ship with Maeve. That adorableness in the, what's it called, event with Benny Anma was peak. Very good. Very good indeed. So, because of that shipping and the fact that I do see her more as a mother to everybody in Chaldea, she can go down here with all of the rest of the mom figures. MHXX, meanwhile, is the older version of MHX. Having a job and having to pay bills and live in a capitalist society, she is a space police ranger who desperately wants vacation days and wants to still get paid so that she can eat. Sympathizing with the adult audience much there, type moon. But yeah, so XX has gotten a lot more development compared to base X. Very established personality, very established motivations and all that, so I think it's only right to put her in the A tier. Low A tier, mind you, because, you know, she still has some work to be done to get up to a higher tier, but I do think that XX is a prime example of trying to cater to and sympathize with your player base that is older and has jobs and all that kind of stuff. Sitanai, meanwhile, is the Fate Stay Night version of Ilya, mashed together with 3 different goddesses, but definitely not the same as Prilia down here, with an older personality and mindset on her, plus, everything that carries over from being Ilya. She is definitely got an established personality. We haven't really seen her have much of a role outside of Oniland and the second Lost Belt, but what we've seen has been a very good bit. I will say, we could definitely see some more of Sitanai, so hopeful, fingers crossed for a summer version of her, but for now, I think she will also go in the B+ tier, because, yeah, I could see Sitanai being somebody that I would get along with well, and could see going further with that. Qinliang Yu, what can I say other than you were in the Chinese Lost Belt, you're a loyal soldier, and you got a nice bod. That's kind of the extent of Qinliang Yu, or Xinliang Yu. I can never remember. I can't even pronounce the name properly, so I think it's fairly obvious that she needs some more development before I can properly rank her. I'll put her there. Consort Yu, meanwhile, yeah, Yu Senpai. You have Shang Yu. I'm not getting in between that. No way in hell will I ever get in between that. I do not need a robo. I don't need a cyborg centaur who can see the future coming after me. Not to mention, I'm pretty sure that she would probably murder me if I even attempted to imply it. So, for that reason alone, yeah, not happening at all. I don't need to be murderized. Bradamante has Roland, or not Roland, but she has Brugario, I think it is. Rugario. I knew it started with an R. I don't know why I defaulted to Roland, I guess just because he's the paladin of Charlemagne that has an R for the name, but Rugario is to Bradamante, and she's actively searching him out, so that kind of dedication means that I would not interfere in the slightest bit. Benienma, meanwhile, is an interesting case. The myth behind Benienma is a little complicated. Daughter of King Enma, the, I think, gatekeeper to the Hells. She sort of runs the inn there, and honestly, she is a great character. Through the course of her whole event, we see a lot of personality from Benienma, a very strict disciplinarian slash chef who takes her job very seriously, but does also have a lighter-hearted side, as she was willing to accept help and change for everything. All in all, we get a lot out of Benienma, and I like what we see. Hopefully we get another event focused around her, or a variant servant of hers, so that I can rank her higher, but for now, I think the B+ tier is a good spot for a lot of people's favorite Burb. Miyu, meanwhile, is the final of the Prilia crew that is currently available in FGO. Having a much more mature personality than the other two because of, well, if you know her backstory, you know why she's a lot more mature as far as personality goes. However, she is quite ignorant of things. Very scientific-minded, doesn't really think magic exists despite being a magical girl. It's a little confusing there, but obviously we have a very firm grasp of the personality of Miyu, and I like that personality. Has some kinks to work out, but that's what growing up will do. So because she has some growing to do, I think in the needs development portion here. Can't even go there. Fairly high up in there, because I like Miyu. She's a good character. Murasaki, meanwhile, is another one that I really went into without knowing pretty much anything about Murasaki, but over the course of her time in Chaldea, she's become a fairly prevalent figure. A librarian book lover who is a writer, very easily embarrassed, but also very genre savvy, as evidenced by the most recent summer event. She has a very firmly established personality, and excuse me, I quite like that personality. She has a very nice, quirky personality that I could definitely see, going far with her in life. So I think for that, Murasaki, you get to be an A tier waifu. King Protea. King Protea. Oh, King Protea. So, we don't really have enough personality based on King Protea. She's very much more of a supporting role at this current time. Most of what we know about King Protea comes from CCC Foxtail, which I'm trying to avoid, referencing the knowledge from those external sources with the rankings, because this is rankings based on FGO. And we really just have not seen enough of King Protea in FGO as her own character. She's more often than not a supporting character for the other Sakura servants, so King Protea needs to shine on her own and make her own name before she can be ranked any higher than C tier. Above Taiga. And Nessa. Yeah. Even Saber. Yeah. Yeah, that works. Kama. Oh, Kama. Kama is one of the beasts, the evils of humanity, and she very nearly succeeded in her goal of wanting to give love to everyone despite hating love. Definitely a beast that I can see a lot of people sympathizing with, and I definitely sympathize with her as well. Various forms that she can take depending on what you like, so appearance doesn't really matter because she'll always assume the form you like most. Her personality has been gradually growing over the course of her time in Chaldea, starting off as just sort of not really caring and wanting to slowly drag us down into temptation. We've sort of been undergoing a reverse temptation of her, or rather making her fall for us by not giving into that temptation and just treating her like a genuine person. So yeah, I know she's gonna get even more development upcoming here, and I kind of wish I just had a date category, because smashing is definitely something that she would want to do. So I think I will put her in the next best category, since I don't have a just date. I'd say she's a prime candidate for waifu-ism here. Just the right bits of personality pushes, that little bit more development, and she could go all the way to S tier. Rhines. Oh, Rhines. What can I say about Rhines? Definitely more commanding of a servant, definitely more of a leader, has a very firmly established personality based on the Almaloy case files that has been somewhat ported over in the Almaloy case files event that we've had. But beyond that event, we haven't really seen too much of Rhines, or Sima Yi as the associated spirit is. Sima Yi does have much more of an influence on Rhines than Zhang Lung has on Waver, or Walter Velvet, so it can be a little bit tough to distinguish between the two at times. Definitely more of a controlling personality here with her, and I really do wish we could see more. So I think because I want to see more out of Rhines before I fully rank her, like another variant or another event focused around her, she can go in the C tier of needs development. Astray, otherwise known as Luvia, the pseudo-servant for Luvia at least. Again, another servant that is a demi-servant, but very heavily influenced by Luvia. But Luvia influences the whole wrestling portion. But otherwise, a very neutral servant, does not wish to get involved in the matters between men and gods, wishes to remain neutral and carry out justice to the fullest of her capabilities. Outside of the Almaloy Case Files event, she has had a small part to play in the Olympus Lost Belt, or the Atlantis portion of the Olympus Lost Belt, which we didn't really see much of her in that. I think she was there for a couple of scenes where she essentially told us she was going to stay neutral in the whole conflict between us and the Pantheon of Olympus, so yeah. She's another one we definitely need to see more of in a not-so-serious situation. Give her some interludes, she might even have some, as well as other things like that, and we could definitely reassess her ranking. But for now, I think she will go in the C tier of needs more development. Next is Gray. Oh, Gray. Again, a lot of knowledge about this one comes from the Almaloy Case Files anime. A lot of the backstory of Gray and such comes from there, but we do get a decent bit of her personality in Chaldea. Definitely shy, a saber face, so, you know, she has that going for her, but a shy, reserved, shy and reserved are the same thing. A very reserved girl who is self-conscious about her appearance and very dedicated to Waver. You know, she's his apprentice after all. But she does have a good sense of loyalty to others, since she was pretty loyal to us through the course of the event. But again, most of this knowledge of her is being pooled from the Almaloy Case Files event. So until she gets another thing, I cannot sadly put her any higher than needs more development. I'll put her above Seba, though, because I do like her appearance a bit more. Jinako. Oh, Jinako. Otherwise, Ganesha. Shut-in, Neat Supreme, was willing to be locked in for thousands of years to help us defeat Arjuna. Went insane and became sane again. And then went insane and was drawn out of the insanity by us. To be frank, Jinako has gone through a lot of shit. She is very dedicated to us. She has that neat personality, more so than Osaka Behime, and Osaka Behime is already rated pretty highly there. But that dedication she shows to us is so good, I cannot put her any lower than B+ tier. Only reason I will not put her any higher is because there might be something with Karna there, you know? It's a little bit ambiguous there, so yeah, I'm not going to put her any higher than B+ tier, just because it's ambiguous enough. Where in the B+ tier, though? I'd say there's a good spot. Lakshmi Bai, another Indian Lost Belt servant who was with us through a fair bit of the case, you know. Known for her incredible amounts of bad luck. She was willing to risk it all to keep us safe when William Tell was raining death upon us. She also was willing to pretty much become a giant cube for untold thousands of years to contain Jinako in an effort to help restore human order more than anything. She definitely did it more out of a sense of duty. Known as the Indian Jeanne d'Arc, she is very dutiful, very dedicated. However, outside of the Indian Lost Belt, we don't really see much of her, you know? But she has showcased that she can be very loyal and dedicated there. We just need a little bit more to really, you know, be firm on any kind of placement. So I'm going to put her in the needs development tier as well. I don't know why Nobu is here, because Avenger Nobu is just Nobu. I guess it kind of occurs to me now that I'm actually looking at this, but Nobu has been getting replaced by the first ascension of Avenger Nobu's sprites in the events, because, you know, Avenger Nobu is just the conglomerate of all Nobu here, so I'm not going to rank Nobu because Nobu's already been ranked, so yeah, I'll just skip. And I missed Jarcher here as well. Okay, so those two are not getting ranked because they've already been ranked, respectively, with Nobu being a B- and Jeanne d'Arc being a D tier. So we will skip over to Writer Da Vinci. So, Writer Vinci is not Da Vinci. She is a homunculus created with all of the memories and knowledge of baseline Da Vinci. So, well, some could argue that she is still considerably Mash's mom. I definitely see them as two separate characters, mainly because Rider Vinci has undergone a lot of character development separate from normal Da Vinci, sort of establishing her firmly as her own person now. Definitely has the playfulness of Da Vinci, however, a lot less serious than her at times as well. I know she's going to be getting even more development in this upcoming summer event too, but we have enough of her personality down that I think I am safe to say that I will put her in the B plus tier. More development from the upcoming summer event could raise her up, or if the development isn't that good, it could lower her down, because that has happened before. All the shooting and somebody being ranked down on the list. Next up is Kagetora, Nagao Kagetora. We saw a lot of her in that Gura Gura event where she was the star of the show. The Ichigo God of War, I believe, and the chosen of Bishamonten. She is a psychopath. Plain and simple, she is a little bit of a psychopath. But she knows that she can be a psychopath there, and you know, she sort of embraced that role, but she still does have those softer tendencies. Like, she treats us with a lot of care, and it kind of shines through, especially in the Valentine scene where we go to a wintry wonderland with her, and she sort of looks out for us. She definitely has a softer side underneath those psychopathic tendencies, so I think that we know enough about her personality. It's very firmly established. I couldn't see anything super long term, but I couldn't see just a one and done or a casual thing with her either. So I think she deservedly goes in the B plus tier of date in Smash. Gareth. We haven't really seen a lot of you. I think you had a brief mention in the summer event with like just some brief mentions in summer events, but you haven't had any real firm personality nailed down. So yeah, we just don't know enough about Gareth other than little sister of Gawain. She went along with She did go along with the Lion King at the time of Camelot, so she has loyalty going for her, but we just don't really know enough for me to put her any higher than in the C tier. She does have an upcoming appearance in the upcoming summer event though, so she has the potential to raise herself up. Charlotte Corday, another servant that I didn't really think I would ever rank really high until Olympus, where she did some big plays. Big plays, big sacrificial plays. She has the potential. She has some excellent potential to go higher. However, I cannot put her as a true waifu just yet, because she still needs some work, you know, as far as her personality. She's a little bit of a ditz, which, you know, that being a little bit of a ditz can be fine, but it carries through into her chaotic planning skill or whatever as well, so I'm going to put her very solidly in the A tier of a waifu candidate, because, let's be honest, she deserves it. I can't even remember your name. The woman who floats on a skull. We have seen literally nothing, I think, with regards to her. Like, literally nothing. Salome, that's the name of her. Salome. We've seen nothing of her. Because we've seen nothing of her, I cannot justifiably rank her, so she will go in the needs more development tier. The fairy swordsman Oi Hokusai. Definitely separate from her baseline form, as it is her when she is younger and has more belief in the world. However, that ignorance and that more belief in the world, honestly, she has very much too young of a mindset compared to the baseline Hokusai. Because, you know, baseline Hokusai, which is her older, is in the A tier, I think it is only fair the undeveloped Hokusai to go in the C tier of needs more development. Development that will likely never come, but, you know, she's had her development. Sort of a case of, we've had her developed, and we get to see her when she needs some work done. So, yeah, she gets to go in the needs more development. Spishtar, or Space Ishtar. There is technically 3 variants of her, but they sort of all end up mashed together at the end, so I'm fine with just ranking her as a single servant. Multiple personalities. Happy, cheery bounty hunter, stoic, serious, both ignorant, to their own degrees there. One was evil and raised to be good and turned out good. One was good and raised to be evil and still turned out good. So a very good person deep down. Her final goddess persona, we don't really see enough of it. It seems to be more of just a blend of the two of them together, but we do see a fair bit of her. I like the personality of both Spishtars there, and obviously it is Ishtar, but I think she deserves to be ranked higher than her not servant-verse counterpart, and thus into the B+ tier with you, Spishtar. Calamity Jane, meanwhile, we have a very firm grasp of her personality as well. Definitely a huge ditz, but can get very serious when the situation calls for it. That's like a bit of a maternal / older sister figure to one of the variants of Spishtar. I think that I think it's a very easy choice to put her in just Smash, because, I mean, she doesn't even seem like she would be up for anything other than a casual bit of fun. Europa. The wife of Zeus. Yeah. So, not Hera. And she isn't really the wife of Zeus. I honestly don't remember the proper lore behind Europa. And we don't really see much of her outside of the fact that she was willing to betray Zeus for proper human history. So very nice, very loyal, but very maternal. But we haven't seen enough of her outside of the Olympus Lost Belt that I really cannot put her any higher than needing some more development. See her outside of that Lost Belt, and we'll see what happens. We're getting close to the end here, the final bits. Next is Yang, or Yu. Randomly was able to be summoned as the New Year's servant and had absolutely no character development until the most recent Imaginary Scramble event, where we got loads of development for her, putting on a very nice and cheery and helpful personality. She was willing to be a friend to many and bonded very closely with Osaka Behime, at least until the end, at which point she showed her cards and revealed herself to be an utter incomplete psycho who was obsessed with dragging her eldritch entity Cthulhu into the world and was even willing to mind control us to do it. Yeah. So normally that kind of yandere behavior would get her very firmly down in the D ranking. However, she had a bit of an aftermath sideshow with Bibi, whereupon she was sort of shown the error of her ways, told that she will be pretty much enforced to behave in Chaldea by her grandmother aunt figure in Wu Zai 10, and sort of gave that same sort of lines that Kama even gave, where she's going to keep trying to tempt us into being her emperor, but she would otherwise work for the benefit of humanity. So that willingness and the fact that she's probably gonna go the same route as Kama if they keep introducing her and stuff, I will put her in needing some more development. She needs to lose that cray-cray a fair bit in order to rank any higher. Sai Shonagan is the next one, first introduced in this most recent year's Valentine's event, and having a fair bit of, time in the sunshine in it. We also saw her a little bit in the most recent Hien Kyo Lost Belt. I forgot to upload one of those today, dang nabbit. But, yeah, we saw a bit of her in that Lost Belt, where we got a bit of her personality when she was still alive, and she is definitely still bubbly, but definitely a very nice person. Very bubbly, very energetic, very much JK as well at times, but, she's nice. I like Sai. I think it is justifiable that she would be up for it, I would be up for it, and, she has another form coming out soon that might rank her higher, but for now, just Smash, I think, is a good place for her. Oh, too far zoomed out. Okay, so I can't zoom out that far. you can get here, but it's going to cut off MASH a little bit. I wish I could minimize this, but I don't know how to do that, so yeah. Next is the Dioscuri. To be more specific, though, because while they are a package deal, let's be honest here. Pollux is definitely the one I am talking about here. So Pollux, we again have not really seen much of her personality outside of the Olympus Lost Belt and the Atlantis, where she was pretty much one of the dogs of Zeus. She sort of reined in her brother Castor from being too extreme, but was still just as bloodthirsty. Definitely need to see more of just Pollux away from Castor, which could happen, you know, if we get a swimsuit variant. So because of that, I think the Needs More Development tab is an excellent place for her. Canis, meanwhile, yeah, so Canis, I don't think should be on this ranking either, just because Canis is very much in the mindset of he is Canis, because of the things that happened to Canis in mythology. Canis is definitely, Canis was turned into a guy and then was as being someone as not one, so I think I will not be ranking Canis just for respect of that. Kyokijo, I think is the name of this one. Had a very brief part to play in the board game event that happened earlier this year. We really did not see enough of the personality for me to make any firm judgments, so because of that, she can go in with the rest of the Needs Development servants. I know she looks like a dinosaur right now, but her higher ascensions, she's very clearly not. Based on the appearance of the higher ascensions, I think here's a good spot for her. Yeah. Eris, meanwhile, we got plenty of development of her personality. While she does indeed also come from another work of Fate, Last Requiem, I believe, we do still get a fair bit of her personality, and she, she has shown up occasionally in the other events as well. Definitely a bit of another Kohai character to ours. She has a very much more serious and grown-up persona, but she does also have those childlike moments of innocence. But I like her. She is a good Kohai figure. She tries to be competitive, but is not as competitive. She can be very serious when time comes, and she is much more mature just due to her upbringing. So I think Eris can go in the date category. Yeah. Right there is a good place for her. Castoria has had absolutely not a single line said outside of the My Room and dialogue lines. So I really cannot justify putting her any higher than Needs Development. She'll go high, though. She will go high. We are in the final final five. Final five. Next is Abigail Williams. Again, this is, however, not the innocent Abigail Williams who we summoned directly from Salem, but the Abigail Williams who journeyed through the Salem Singularity with us, and has been spending probably centuries, growing up and developing as a person, and becoming even more powerful. A little bit obsessive, but she also is very lighthearted, very much willing to allow us to do our own thing, and very protective of us, given that she did not want us to be hurt. So not a yandere, because she is protective. She does not want us hurt. She wants to protect. But we have seen a fair bit of development from Abby. We see her role through the Salem Singularity. We see that glorious interlude that takes place just before the Lost Belts, where she is willing to whisk us away so that we do not have to experience the terror of them, because she would not be able to interfere, at least until the summer event, at which point she can apparently hop right in. But because of that dedication to us that Abigail Williams shows, I think it is only fair to put her very firmly in the A tier. She goes below Charlotte because she has not done a big sacrifice play, though. Yeah, so big sacrifice play, very, very compatible personality, and very compatible personality. That's what the A tier is at the current point in time, the top of the A tier. Himiko. Oh, Himiko. Another one that I knew she was coming out as a new ruler, a new Buster ruler that would be very good, but I didn't really want to roll her for that, but through the course of the story, she definitely grew on me. Himiko definitely grew on me through the course of the story, and I like Himiko quite a lot. She's definitely probably one of the more ditzy characters, but she's very loyal, very kind, and has a very firm set feeling of responsibility. Although that can even that can be questionable at times, considering she shirks her duties off to Io so that, you know, she can be summoned by us and not Io. But yeah, so Himiko has a very nice personality. She saw in the future that we would be able to help her, and yeah, I like Himiko. She's a very good servant. If she gets another variant, she could very well go higher, but for the time being, I think she's in the date and smash category of things. Van Gogh. Goey. Clyde Van Gogh. Another one that I was going to roll because I wanted all the foreigners, but honestly was not expecting the sheer story depth that we would get out of Van Gogh through the course of the Imaginary Scramble event. Starting off with as being incredibly much so a nervous wreck, she gradually grows into her own, blossoming into being a proper flower over the time of the event. And by the end of it, I was even fine with her final ascension form, even though before the event, I was utterly terrified of the looks of it. So because of her sheer personality growth, and how nice her personality is, because she's a very nice girl, I think it is only right to put her in the A tier as well. Getting a few couple of A tier waifus here lately, aren't we? The final two. First up is Ibuki. Ibuki Doji, the alternate form of Shuten, the more divine form of Shuten, much more disconnected from the common bit of man. The only bit we've really seen her with is the most recent Hien Kyo event, whereupon she was willing to utterly murderize us for fun, and then gave Kintoki the sword of Kusanagi with which to use in combat, because he impressed her. So I definitely think, I know she's getting a summer variant soon. I didn't roll for this variant of Ibuki, so if she has any interludes, I don't really know, but we really haven't seen enough of Ibuki for me to put her any higher than in the needs development tier, which hopefully we will eventually get. And the final servant being ranked in the waifu rankings is the most recent servant, Vritra. So Vritra is from the most recent Christmas event that ended only about 4 days ago, so everything is very fresh with her, and there's sadly not as much with her as is often the case with some of these newer servants. While she did take the main antagonistic role of the event, and we did learn her true motivations in that she pushes humanity down so that they may rise to the challenge and overcome her. I mean, we know that she is a connoisseur of the arts, even if she has never experienced it. She does still like, the concept of arts. She liked Elizabeth singing, even if she couldn't really tell the difference between things, she still liked it. She liked watching Melt dance, she wished Kiyohime would dance, and she struck up a friendship with Kama. All in all, we have a very decent idea of her personality and such. I would say we need more development with her, but I think her personality is good. I wouldn't say that her personality really lends itself to something long-term, but between looks and personality at the current time, I think in the Need Smash category is an excellent place for her to be. And with that, that is all of the currently released waifu servants in FGO ranked according to my taste. At the top is the one true waifu herself, Mashu Firelight or Mash Firelight. I go Mashu. I interchange between the two. In the S tier of waifu, we have Melt leading the pack, followed by XA or A-chan, followed by Uresh, and then close behind is Jolter. All of them have very good development. Some of them have made the big sacrifice plays, and some of them have just been developed gradually over time to being a very likable person. In the A tier of waifus, we have Okitan, Ortland, Kama, Charlotte Corday, Abigail Williams, Summer, Nitocris, Clyte Van Gogh, Mordred Murasaki, Katsushika Oi Hokusai, gotta remember it's Oi, and MHXX. These are the waifu candidates who, with the right bits of character development and push, could rise up to the S tier of waifu. In the B plus tier of Date and Smash, I could definitely see myself having something long term and very much intimate with them. We have Salter, Elizabeth, Medusa, Ishtart, or Ashtart, Space Ishtar, Tamamo, Himiko, Passionlip, Benyanma, Fujino, Anna, or Medusa Lancer, Sitanai, Nagao Kagetora, Jinako, or Ganesha, Media Lily, Aris, Chiome, Cersei, Helma Blavatsky, and Leonardo da Vinci Ryder. All of these can definitely move up with the right bits of behavior, but they could also, it's a very rare chance, but they could move down if they show some bad personality traits. The B minus tier of only smashing, only casual relationships, we have Maeve, Ishtar, BB, Sai Shonagun, Lancer Artoria, Vritra, Hilder, Nero, Anne Bonny and Mary Reed, Anastasia, Adelante Alter, Musashi, Ushiwakamaru, MHX, Matahari, Carmilla, Okita, Nobu, Shisho, Sanzang, Nightingale, Danzo, Calamity Jane, and Osakabe Hime. These ones would all need a very radical shift in personality to move any higher or any lower. For them, they're pretty much firmly in place as just a casual thing. In the C tier of needs more development, these are the servants who we need to see either more of to get a more established personality, or they need to do a little bit of growing up in order to rank any higher. In this tier we have Castoria, Hassan of Serenity, Yu, Thrud, Quetzalcoatl, Rhines, Pollux. Hey, Andy. Sorry, you kind of distracted me. Hobby things. Ibuki Doji, Gorgon, Lalter, Media, Tomoe, Kyokijo, Mew, King Protea, Gray, Gareth, Europa, Artoria, Lakshmi Bai, Neza, Jaguar Man or Jaguar Warrior, Tamamo Cat, Astray, Void Shiki, Francis Drake, Shin Liang Yu, 100 Personas Hassan, Altera, Adelante, Boudica, Zhongqi, Nursery Rhyme, Chloe, Wu Zaiten, Paul Bunyan, throat's getting a little dry here, and my memory's going a little bit. Mecha Ellie-chan, Salome, Katsushika Hokusai, younger. In the Praise Long Janta tier, we put the one and only Janta. Long may she reign. She is the great equalizer. None can even compare to her. That is why she is in a tier all on her own. In the not happening tier, which is pretty much it's never going to happen, we have the following servants for one reason or another, either because of the fact that they are actively have a significant other, the fact that they are very much too young in personality for me to consider, the fact that they might be a yandere, or the fact that, you know, I think it would be disrespectful for me to put them anywhere. Although maybe I should put Canis in there, because it would be very disrespectful to put Canis any higher, because, you know, Canis probably would kill me for even implying on this list, but yeah. So Canis is down there because I am respectful enough not to rank Canis. I wanted to explain why I was not going to rank Canis. But in the not happening tier, for various reasons, we have Martha, because very much too religious. Scheherazade, who, you know, I still have a slight grudge against, plus very negative personality. We have Kiyohime Raiko, Stalkers. We have Shuten Doji and Ibaraki Doji, very likely to murderize me. We have Jeanne d'Arc, very much too religious and low-key ship with Sieg. We have Marie and Artoria Lily, far too young and innocent personalities for me to really justify. We have Seno and Uriel. Honestly, I do not like their personalities. Their personalities are very much, you know, not too nice as far as I'm concerned. We have Brynhild, Artemis, Ariasville, Cleopatra, Tomoe Gozen, Semiramis, Scotty. Semiramis is the last of the... has a significant... Oh, you know what? There we go. Forgot. We have Consort Yu and Parvati. Very much this group of them all is in the has a significant other that I'm not going to try and get in between category. We have Scotty. Oh. Budimonte should go there as well. My bad. We have Scotty, Queen of Sheba, and Leonardo da Vinci baseline in the... for the reason of they are very much maternal figures to MASH or us, so I could not see anything there. We have Penth, who would probably murderize me, much like Canis would, but definitely is... there's a chance, but definitely probably wouldn't happen, so that's why she's there. Cha-Cha, who, despite, you know, a lot of people liking her, honestly, the personality is far too immature for me to really see anything happening, and that kind of goes for the likes of baseline Abby, Fran, Ilya, and Jack the Ripper. They are very firmly in the daughter category, I think. Because, well, they're the bottom tier of the waifu list. If I could put a daughter category, I would, but I promised Mordred this would be all the waifus. I gave them all consideration as waifus, and did not look at them as daughters, and gave my reasons throughout the various bits of this as to why they are there. But that is going to be it for today's stream here. Almost an hour, so this one actually went on for a fair bit. This will be tacked on with the other parts of the waifu ranking stream that I did just a few days ago, so I think I will call this here. So for now, thank you all so much for coming out. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit.